a guide on how to make millions of dollars with meme coins by 2025. And now imagine if you put in around $10,000 here on Pepe, when Pepe was at around $100 million in its market cap. By the time it did hit its all-time high of $11 billion market cap, you would have made $1 million of that $10,000 invested right around here. Or Turbo as well, for example, if you did invest around $10,000 right around here when Turbo was at $10 million in its market cap, by the time it did reach around 900 or almost 1 billion, which is 100x as well, like Pepe did here, we would have made around $1 million as well. Or Floki as well, which I did myself as well on Floki, where I got into it way early back in 2022. And if you just did invest here at around $50 million in its market cap, by the time it reaches 5 billion or close to it, it's almost 100x, which also as well amounts to 10,000 to $1 million. And as well, Pepe, if you did miss the first entry on Pepe and waited until it got listed on Binance and waited for the cool off in the dip that happened right around $200 million in its market cap and invested $10,000 here, by the time Pepe would hit $20 billion in its market cap in the future, this would be also 100x, which means the $10,000 would reach $1 million. And we see those numbers happen very often with meme coins. That is why people love meme coins, and a lot of people are drawn into meme coins and meme coins trading, and meme coins are seeing that much hype because things like this happen a lot with meme coins. But the question remains, how can you do the same thing here? Now, today's video, we're going to talk about exactly how to go about that and how to do it, and how I've done it a few times with multiple meme coins, some that I shared with you on my YouTube channel and also my Twitter. You can follow me as well on Twitter, link in the description. You can as well subscribe to the channel and like the video to support the channel. But today I'm going to show you exactly what I've been doing since 2022 to really spot these meme coins early and ride them to the moon, basically to 100x's and more. So first off, what you really want to start with is what not to do, because today the consensus is pretty much into gambling with meme coins. This is what we see happening over and over, and for some reason the crowd in retail and celebrities and everyone in the space got drawn to Solana meme coin gambling, which is not trading, let alone not investing, and 99.99 if not everyone loses money doing exactly this. What you see here, this pump fund, are going to deck screeners or Photon or BullX or whatever the new shiny website to gamble on Solana meme coins is, and try to find new gems every day that just launched and go on deck screener, and you see all these videos getting hundreds of thousands of views, and people are really getting shredded and destroyed in the trenches doing exactly this. So the first thing that you really want to avoid is trying to do exactly that, is to try to go on pump fund or try to look for Solana new launches and go to new pairs and look for the highest volume and do all that crazy nonsense, because that's not the way to do it. Now, the real way to do it is Ethereum over Solana. That's the first thing you want to do. So first thing you want to do here is Ethereum. And why is Ethereum? And this is the most important to understand why we're going for Ethereum instead of Solana. And also all these example coins that I show you now, they are all on Ethereum. And the reason why is because Ethereum does not have those spaghetti hands, and most of the people call them weak hands or lettuce hands or Jeets, and they have a lot of nicknames for those people. So basically those people are people that buy in and out. They don't let the coins run harder. They don't wait for the coins. They are not strong believers. They are not real people that understand cryptocurrency, and most of them are new users or new beginners, and they are not really favorable people to be investing amongst. So we try to avoid them as much as possible. And those people are so much drawn into Solana. That is why we don't go to Solana. Now, ETH is a different story, because with ETH fees and all that, people that join join ETH ecosystem, they do have more money because they can afford the fees. And the second thing for ETH is there is no pump fund like the one on Solana. There are not many coins being launched every day, which are diluting the market. So basically what Solana people do is they go on Solana and then they find a coin, and let's say for some reason that day it was their day, and then they caught maybe Chill Guy, or they caught any Pengu, or they caught any coin that for some reason made it to Binance within a week, and they made a lot of money. So instead, those people, instead of going to the next best option they go to the next 1 million option they got, which is every day there are millions of coins launched on Solana. So you can see that liquidity from that one guy that won $1 million to, instead of going to maybe just 5 coins to pump those coins up, it goes to 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 coins, and the pumps are not as astronomical, and they end up all kind of going to zero or not performing because of the amount of dilution. That's as simple as that. That is why we go to ETH. ETH is the main chain you want to be looking at when you are doing your research on meme coins. That is very important. I hope I made the point, but we don't want to make this video too long talking about why ETH over Solana, but that's as simple as that. Now, the second thing is how to find these coins, which is the most important. Now, how to find these coins comes down to what makes meme coins pump, and in general altcoins. Now, what makes meme coins and altcoins pump is hype and attention. This is very important, and this is how I got into Pepe, let's say. So we're using Pepe for this example. So for Floki, I got in way early, and as simple as that, because back in the days, Floki was one of the few meme coins back in 2022 when Bitcoin here bottomed and it was time to start looking for altcoins. There were not many options when it comes to meme coins. There was Floki, Shiba Inu, and Dogecoin, and very other few. But to me, I always look for low market cap coins, and back then Floki was the lowest market cap coin available, that with a strong established team and established meme coin, let's say. And it was simple to find Floki. But for Pepe, was not that simple, because this now, if we look at Pepe and we look at the weekly candles, now Pepe, it launched, very few people actually were able to catch Pepe in the first 3 weeks before it got listed on BitGet, which was its first listing, then Binance. So within 4 weeks, it made it to Binance. So it took everyone by surprise. Very few people can claim that they got into Pepe at around 30 million. And if they do, they most likely are lying about it. But the thing is, very few people did catch Pepe early on, and as you can see, this is the daily candles, and as its launch, Pepe launched at around $2 or $3 million in its market cap, and within 4 to 5 days, it was already at $100 million in its market cap. And by the time you figure out if this is a rug pull or not, it was already on Binance. So most people are not going to be the ones catching the real early ones. Now, there is another example when it comes to Turbo, which I'm going to get to, but Pepe is a different story, because Pepe is what you call in the space, we have 2 type of coins. You have the, let's say people call them the cabal coins, which is something like Pepe. They do pump very quickly to 1 billion and then they retrace fast. We've seen recently Pengu or something like that doing the same. They do pump very fast and they do dump very fast in the beginning, but this is good for us because we can pay attention to these type of coins, because this is what we want to be looking at. Is we know these coins now, they did catch a lot of people off guard, and they did garner a lot of attention and hype, which is very important for meme coins to pump in the future. So what usually happens, or what you usually want to do when you see a coin that did something like this, and let's imagine now Pepe, you just find out about Pepe and it just did this pump here. What you really want to do is, when you have a deck screener, you can have an account with them. Now, I'm not signed in, but if you sign in, your watch list will stay forever here. So you can just put your watch list and build a watch list, let's say. So you have Pepe now on your watch list, and you can watch it on your phone or whatnot, or on your laptop or PC, or you will be able to check its performance in the future, or from the day you noticed it, or everybody else noticed it. So pretty much Pepe got noticed once it got listed on Binance, because it was a shock. And since it got listed on Binance, which usually this means it is gonna be a hype top, or usually the cool off of the hype. And this is a key word here, very important, and which is you want to wait for the cool off of the hype. So usually we do have those those hype pumps. Now, hype pumps are very key to every meme coin, and this is where it all starts. So let's say this is the hype pump for Pepe, and what you really want to be looking at, and this is from experience, that's why we're basing this on Pepe here. I'm gonna do it with other meme coins, just stick around, but this is key to understand. So since now you've seen this hype pump on Pepe, which shook everyone by surprise, then you want to add your Pepe onto your watch list and understand what happens usually with hype pumps is they do usually very often retrace around 70%, if not more. So back in the days here, Pepe did retrace overall around 85%, because now we are in a much stronger market. Now, mind you, here back in the days, Bitcoin was still around 30K, so the market was not as bullish. So we did see a major pullback, and we were lucky to get that kind of pullback on Pepe back in the days, which was around 86%. So once you see this kind of dips happening post that hype rally, you want to start to look if the market, if it's gonna start flooring, and also you want to be checking on their socials and what's going on Twitter and what people are saying. You want to go on their Telegram groups and you want to check what's happening here. Now, even though back in the days here with Pepe, this was a scary time to be buying Pepe because of Bitcoin was still at around 30K, 40K. We were not sure what was gonna happen here, because back in the time here, the team started selling, and it was very hard to guess if this was going to be a coin that's going to go to zero as well. Back in the days here, meme coins were still kind of risky and all that. Now, what really got me to get into it is a simple thing that it got listed on Binance. So there is pretty much a lot of things going behind the scenes that we don't understand, and usually when coins get on a tier 1 exchange, it means they went through a lot of audits and a lot of verifications and KYC and all that stuff, which means even if the team is selling, it's probably just the team taking profits and whatnot, but the overall health and future for the coin is not over, and this is pretty much a dip to be looking at, and that's what I was doing back in the days here. So this is at around $200-300 million in market cap Pepe, and if you just got in here now, you would be up over 20x, but when Pepe would reach 30 billion or 20 billion, you'll be up around 100x. Now, all this time, the most important factor here to keep in mind is a lot of people, first, they are not gonna get into this dip, and the second thing is they're not gonna hold long enough, and they're not gonna have conviction in their plays. That is why it is very important to understand that when we're playing these long-term plays like this, is you want to know why you are getting into it, and you want to first, before even getting into it, to understand that this is a long-term play and have a conviction that this thing is gonna go up, and build a thesis around it and understand why you are getting into it and why it is gonna go up in the future. And also by getting in after a massive pullback, we are reducing the risk by a lot, because we're pretty much close to a bottom if we are getting around here than buying a top hype rally. So we do have this hype rally, then we wait for a 70% pullback, which is now pretty much what we are gonna start to see, a 70 to 60%, because now we're in a much stronger market. But back in the days, it was 80% was the norm. So 80% here, you wait for something like that. And we did have another hype pump on Pepe right around here, right around March, where everything was pumping as well. So this is something to keep in mind when we have those hype pumps, is we usually get a retrace. And this was another entry here, but it was pretty much not the entry that's gonna do 100x or make anyone millions of dollars here, but it's an entry nonetheless. This was 60%, and since then it went from, this was around 1.7 billion, so let's say 2 billion, let's say from here 2 billion to 10 billion is a 5x from this point here, but this is not really what we are here for. But just to understand that whenever we have hype pumps, we do have retraces. So recently we had a hype pump on Pepe, and now we're witnessing the retrace again happening, which could be another 70% or 60% or 50%. So this far now it is 38%. It did go as low as 50% here, so we could still see something like that, but this is gonna be a 5 billion to 20 billion, it's gonna be, or 25 billion is another 5x maybe here. But the thing is, this is not the millions of dollars, this is not what we are, this is not the topic of today's video, but to understand this hype point points and how to build a watch list. Now let's say Turbo, for example. Now if you look at Turbo, this is a different story because this is a community coin, let's say, and community coins, they don't rush to pump. They do take a long time. These are much easier to predict and much easier to get into because they give you some sort of time to research and look into the coin. They don't just rush in and quickly get onto Binance. This is the community, and this is the cabal play. So the cabal play, you do have very quick fast moves up, very quick fast moves down, and they give you the entry. This is where you get in, basically the entry, and then you wait for your 100x to realize. But then with Turbo is a different story. So very few people got into Turbo very early here because of the fact that it was a community coin and it was building slowly, and over time it did not gain any hype. Literally did not get any hype. But if you were fortunate enough to get into it or find out about it right around, let's say it did hit 100 million, and then you noticed it, and then you went in and you added it as well to your watch list. The same thing here. So you're building a watch list. Let's say this is before even you buy anything, you're just building a watch list. So what you do is, like, once you added it to your watch list and you noticed that there was a hype around it here, this hype pump, and then you waited for the pullback, and let's say you waited and the pullback here is around 65% or 77 or 70%, let's say, with the wicks, and you waited for it and you got in around $30 million market cap. So by $3 billion market cap, you'd be up 100x on Turbo just right after, if you caught the actual dip here or even before. But any hype pump end up getting a retrace, and those are the places where we want to get. Now I want to show you an example as well with a coin I got into, Nero CTO, which is exactly the same thing. This is one of the most recent one, but the thing is simple as well if we look at it here. And what happened here, guys, is as well very simple. Let's look at the 4 hours, let's say. So what happened back in the days, these are the things you want to really keep in mind. So back in the days here, this was August of 2024, and at some point here we seen that Vitalik, which is the founder of ETH, sold some tokens. Now you'll ask yourself, how did Vitalik get Nero CTO tokens? Now the team of this coin, or the devs or the community, they sent Vitalik some tokens. A lot of people, a lot of projects, they do that to get that kind of extra visibility or extra attention if Vitalik in fact ends up selling it. So once Vitalik did sell it, it did drop, but then it's seen a hype pump, and this is when it got my attention. This is very key to understand, is it got my attention at around here. So when it got my attention, what I did was I added it to my watch list, then I shared it with my members on Discord, and all I said is that we are waiting for it to really floor around $2 million market cap. And my reasoning was very simple, is that I was waiting for a decent pullback, even though this was a 93% pullback. The point is, at $2 million market cap, the risk to reward was very favorable. Now this is very risky as a play now, but because of the fact that this was the first Nero, or Nero is the second Dogecoin that the lady adopted, or it's her new pet's name, and also Vitalik talked about it, this was an entry to not be disregarded. And then randomly one day it just popped off around $50 million in its market cap. Now a lot of people here would be thinking, that's it, I'm gonna sell this position here. Now what I did was just to monitor this situation here, because I got in very early here, and I also play the long-term play. As I said, I play the long-term play. I play very few coins, but I make sure that these coins have strong fundamentals when it comes to meme coins, and they can garner this attention in the future, and they can end up having those massive astronomical pumps. Now what happened is, after some time, it was flooring again, and it gave a second entry. So let's say if you missed the first one, you had the second entry after the spike here. This spike was another hype pump. So you can see after the hype pump, we've seen as well another retrace of 76 or 89 or 79%, almost 80%. This was again another entry, which was around $10 million in its market cap. Now keep in mind, this coin went to $1 billion in its market cap. So this thing was also, even if you missed the first entry at 2 million, the second one at 10 million was still 100x here. And then later on, it went on to go to Binance and got listed on Binance and went also close to 1.3 billion, which was 100x, which is crazy to think that this is another coin that I got into with the same strategy I'm sharing with you here today. But it's as simple. Now today is getting a bit harder because there are more strong coins also, but still the same thing applies. As long as you stay away from pump fund and those bull X and those crazy Solana shitters, you would do well this bull market by just following this exact strategy. And the strategy is to always wait for the pullbacks on these hype rallies, or usually the hype rallies are the best, or the pullbacks after the hype rallies are the best time to get in. Now obviously, to make millions, market cap matters. This is very important to understand. Let's say now recently we've seen this Pangu, right? A lot of people fortunately got this airdrop and life-changing money, and we do thank the Pudgy Penguin team, or the people that were behind this, to literally help a lot of people in the space change their lives and make money, which is something that we really want to see in the space, that people make money, so that money is always kind of multiplying in the space and helping other projects and pumping other coins. So we are always happy to see new coins appearing and pumping and helping a lot of people. But the thing here is, now a lot of new people that don't know why this thing pumped or did not get any airdrop or did not get anything from this coin will see the hype and will buy onto the hype at $2 billion in its market cap, thinking that they can do 100x or make millions off a coin that is at $2 billion in its market cap that is freshly launched. It is very important to understand market cap matters, and the best thing you can do is look for below $100 million market cap, because at 100 million market cap, you still need the coin to go to 10 billion at least to do 100x on that coin. So that is very important to keep in mind. Every coin below 100 million, that's what you really need to be looking at. Now 200 million now above, you are now kind of going into that territory where you are fine with 50x or 40x, and also missing out on other coins while holding, because remember, the strategy involves holding long term as soon as you find these long-term plays. So as I explained, now to find them, this is a key point here. The key point is to find them. So to find them, you have to pay attention to the space. You have to be every day on the space. You have to be every day on Twitter. You have to follow a lot of Twitter pages. You have to follow a lot of Memecoin pages that talk about the right things, that talk about the not pump fund. As soon as someone mentions to you pump fund, you want to run away from there. You don't want to stay there. That's not an account you want to follow, or any account that talks about Solana shitters. That's not your place. That's not the place you want to follow. You want to follow accounts that talk about long-term plays, because that's how actual long-term money is made, or that's how 100x's are made, and that's pretty much how you avoid 99.99% of rug pulls and scams and all that. And obviously you want to avoid celebrities and all that. So you want to build your watch list by looking at recent hype coins, and you want to follow the right accounts. And that might take some time to really follow these pages. Now, for example, here as well, I made this tweet a long time ago about Turbo. This was on June 12, 2024. So I remember Turbo just had its rally to $600 million market cap, and now suddenly everyone started noticing Turbo, and Turbo started pulling back, and you can understand that the normies freaked out. The normies did not like it. The normies did not understand what was going on. So what I said was Turbo playing the good old hype playbook, which I just explained to you right now. This is a simple alpha for free guide on how to play this. Dropped 60-70% from the hype top, then run the next leg up. So basically that's what I was expecting back in the days here, is that Turbo is gonna go down for a while, and then we're gonna see the next leg up. Now little do you know, this is exactly what we've seen. So Turbo did have that pump and hype rally, and then after we did see that 70 to 60% drop, which brought it right around here. So it was a 70% drop, brought it right around $230 million in its market cap. So since then, if you just got in here, you made a 5x from the low here to the top, which means to make $1 million, you need to invest around $200,000 here. So this is more of a whales kind of play. So once you are a whale, then you can start to play with these larger cap meme coins when they do have those massive pullbacks, and we do see this often. But pretty much this is what plays out with the hype pumps. We do see retraces, hype pump, retrace, hype pump, retrace with meme coins, right? Most importantly, with meme coins, you don't want to do that with any utility coin because you don't understand who is selling on you and you have the unlocks and all that. So this is important. Now, also sometimes you want to go on those trending coins. So if you go on ETH and you go on trending coins, sometimes most of the trending coins are not going to be your coins that you want to be looking at because most of them are fresh new launches. So what you really want to be looking at is established meme coins. You don't want to look at anything close to a new launch. It has to be an old launch. So funny enough, today we have SPX 6900 trending on that deck screener on ETH. So now here, you know, this is an old coin because you see that this coin launched a long time ago. This was the 16th of August 2023. Now obviously not very much people really noticed this coin for a long time here, because back in the days here, October, November, end of 2023, we did have Pepe and we did have a lot of other larger meme coins on ETH pumping. So kind of they overshadowed SPX. You couldn't really see it. But now recently it did see this massive rally since a viral crypto account known for meme coins talked about it, which the account name is Murad. Probably heard about him by this point, but basically he also advises the same strategy, which is looking for long-term plays. But anyways, now what you see with SPX, let's say, is now this is a true hype book. Now this is a coin that's seen the actual hype play, and you see that since it got the hype, it really did not really pull back. It did not pull back at all, or very, very shallow pullbacks as we see here from the high. And I was expecting this to really pull back larger, so it did only a 50% pullback. This could still go back down, and this is something that I have also on my watch list. Now let's say, now this is another example where you see a coin like this that got the initial hype, you have it on your watch list now, and you see this massive pump, and you are waiting for a very good entry, because any entry here, you are not really having a good deal. This is not a good deal. So everybody loves a good deal, and what we're really looking for is an actual good deal. So a good deal would be something like SPX down 70%. So SPX down 70% would put it around 200 million, which is kind of where we are entering that territory where if it goes to 20 billion, then you have 100x, where we're pushing it, but still you kind of have a 50x on the table, very possible 50x and whatnot. But will it go there or not? This is the question. This is why we are building a watch list. We're not getting up here. We are waiting for the actual dip, the 70% dip. Now, recently I was looking at it and I was kind of hoping it's going to do that at around 400. What I really want to see is an actual pullback. So what you really see here is something like this could play out. Now, don't get me wrong. This is nothing against the SPX coin or token, but can we see something like this? It's pretty much possible that we see another pullback at around 300 or 400. Then it's going to be a very good entry. If we see something like that to playing out, if it doesn't, it doesn't. Now, if you're already on it from the lows, happy days, good days. But from a perspective of making 100x on coins like this, I do really want to see it pulling back to 300. If I do get that, that's the actual thing that fits with today's strategy. And my strategy is to wait for the 70% pullback after a massive hype pump. But recently it's seeing a lot of hype, so it might take some time to cool off, or it might just rally from here and kind of stalls around 1 billion. Then we actually see the pullback. But anyways, we don't know how it is gonna play out, but it's a coin that's a perfect example as well. So you can as well go back to trending and look for coins that are old coins. You don't want to look for anything that just launched. So this is a coin that just launched with ads and all that. You know that it just launched with this screen here, but this is something like doing what Solana boys are doing. This is not what you want to be doing. When you see something like this, run for the hills. You don't want to be looking at anything like that. And let's say now BONK Coin, now also at 800, got listed on Coinbase, and as you can see, this thing has just been rallying recently, did not stop, and it had multiple hype pumps. It did have multiple hype pumps and with pullbacks, and it did not see any major pullbacks this far that were a good deal in my eyes. But you can see that it had this first one here, but all of them were nonetheless profitable dips to get into each time. This was a 66% drop, and then again we have another here, it's a 60 or 70%. This was at around 200 million. This was a pretty good deal around here, and then since then it's just rallying now, and we're seeing this recent Coinbase listing. This is also something you really want to keep in mind. Coinbase, Binance listings are usually local top, which means that it's going to be a top for a while, then we're going to see the breakout later on. This is what we usually see, and we've seen this like grind, slow grind. We can call this all a hype play or hype pump, and then we've seen another retrace after the Coinbase listing. So this is a 50% here listed on Coinbase. So not yet on Binance, but listed on Coinbase. And as you can see, a lot of retail and a lot of normies, they do see Coinbase listings as a bullish thing. It is long term, but short term, it is a top. So that's what people need to understand. Or if you are playing this book, you want to wait for it. If you missed anything and you're hearing Binance or Coinbase listing today and you FOMO blast this coin, you pretty much end up at a massive drawdown of 50%, which is a lot. But instead of just waiting of the actual 70% to happen, which already happened on this coin. So that's another thing you want to keep in mind, and this one already happened. So I wouldn't add this to my watch list, but you could still add it because it's already a meme coin with a lot of eyes on it, and you can add it. You never know when you can get a good deal. So whenever that happens, whenever you see yourself at around a good deal on these coins, that's usually the right time for those. So we can still see this going down here to 200, 300 million, which will be a very good deal, but I don't think this is gonna happen. But recently we've seen Popcat seeing a massive dip, but this is because it's on Solana. So unfortunately Solana is much more volatile. Solana is much more childish in a way, where coins have much larger pullbacks and they are more riskier than altcoins. But recently it did hit around $2 billion in its market cap and did another 67, almost 70% pullback, and now it's stagnating here. Now, a lot of people can play this towards the all-time high again to 2 billion, which is close to a 2x or 2x and a half. It's not a lot. We also keeping in mind that it already did its major rally, so you're still running the risk of this just keep dipping until it reaches a good deal point, which I call the good deal point. But anyways, the thing is, you want to always be on YouTube, on Twitter, on watching on Discord groups, on other groups, on every group, and just building a watch list. This watch list needs to be like at least 20 coins, and slowly you add some, you remove some, until you have a solid watch list where you are just waiting for these good deals. And the main factors you want to be looking at, as I said, is ETH coins and also coins that already garnered some attention already. Now, the second way you can play this is by getting early into coins. Now, recently I shared with you Brett on ETH, which also had a massive hype rally, which I wouldn't call it a real hype rally, but it did garner a lot of attention. A lot of crypto YouTubers and influencers started talking about it, which garnered a lot of eyes, and now we're seeing this pullback. So this is usually the time to be getting into a coin like this at around $12 million in its market cap. And this is the type of coins or the market cap prices that I look at for those 100x's and kind of exponential moves and asymmetric moves, is slowly coins that are still here, that did not really garner that much attention yet, and they're still under the radar. are. So with coins like Breton 8 that are already on that floor prices where you can get in and wait for that 100x to play out. Also on 8, also a community coin, which means they do give those entries, but then they do have those squeezes up, like hype rallies, then cool offs, then hype rallies. But the point is, you do have better entries with this type of coins, because then you have that 100x on your way up. So at 100 million it's already a 10x, but at 1 billion it's 100x. So this is what I look for usually here. That's how you build a watch list here. Now you can still do the same with CoinMarketCap if you go to CoinMarketCap and memes, and this also is a way to be looking for these memes or hunting for them. What you want to do is, once you go on CoinMarketCap and you go on memes, you want to get to know all the memes here. You wanted to get to know all of them. You want to go onto one by one and understand where they are at, which markets they are listed on, which exchanges. You want to also look at perpetual or futures. You want to understand each one of them and read about them and know them all, because now we're playing the long term and wait for that kind of deals that I talked about, this pullbacks and all that. So the top meme coins are on 8, and most of the coins on or meme coins on 8 do go to 1 billion or 2 billion or 3 billion. So when you can see that Floki, Pepe, Shiba Inu, and also Shiba Inu is a previous cycle coin, these are 8 meme coins. And recently we've seen MOG as well going to 1 billion, SPX close, we've seen Turbo, and first Nero on 8 did actually hit 1 billion after the Binance listing as well. And for example, Book of Meme did not hit the billion. It's on Solana and it was listed on Binance, but it did not hit the $1 billion market cap after the Binance listing. So this pump is actually the Binance listing, and since then it's just been bleeding because it's on Solana. So you can see that Solana, BNB, and Base and all those other chains are very weak compared to meme coins on 8, which meme coins on 8 have a much simpler, easier path towards the 1 billion to 2 billion, which kind of, if we get into around 20 million or 30 million, means 100x from those levels. Or even if you get a 2 million or 5 million, those are even larger returns. So that's why I really focus on each chain as much. So to end the video and make it very simple, what you really are looking for is those super hype pumps like the one we seen on Pepe here, and wait for that real pullback, a good deal that we had here on Pepe here. And once you got that, you're pretty much set for those massive candles. All you gotta do is build a watch list and also hold, and learn to hold and learn to understand and spend some time in the space to understand that crypto can go down as much as it can go up. And so for some people, a minus 50% drop is fine. For some people, that's a lot. And get used to and accommodated to the space and understand what the space is about, so that you can be able to hold through all these kind of up and downs and up and downs and up and downs to hopefully achieve what you are waiting for, and achieve that financial freedom or achieve that life-changing gains. And exactly by doing that, and stay away from pump fund and any Solana strategies, 1 sol to 2 sol to 3 sol, $500 per day. Those are all fugazi nonsense that never leads anywhere. The only way to make it is to build a watch list, is to have very strong conviction on few plays and stick to those plays, and that's how you are gonna make it. And that's how I've made it this far with few coins, and I'm also already building with other coins like Breton 8 and others that I shared with you. It's the exact same thing that I did and I keep doing, and this is the thing that is actually working this far. I'm just refining my strategy recently to just stick to 8 meme coins, because the proof is in the pudding. They are the ones that perform the best. Anyways, hope this video was helpful. You might want to add it as well to your watch list or to your learning free guides, cryptocurrency free guides, to keep it and watch it over and over. If you really missed some things or some things you did not make any sense, you can also leave that in comment section or join my Discord link in the description. So thank you again for watching today's video till the end, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.